Hi, I'm David Bradley. I'm Chief Executive of South West London St George's Mental Health Trust.
Now, in part of your speech, you mentioned you want to be held accountable. I don't think a lot of people would volunteer that.
Yeah.
But when you say that, how would you be held accountable? What would the voice be, and how would that work to the benefit of people saying that, yeah, we want to see action?
I'm accountable in a number of ways. So we have contracts with our commissioners, and that's a bit boring for people of saying, oh, well, we've got this contract and I'm accountable for those. But I think what we need to do is, and the challenge that we've heard from here is, look at how we can do things differently so that it's not just the things that we say, oh, well, this is in our contract, that's what we've got to provide. But what is the real added value of this? And when I come to places like this and I say, yes, we're going to do these things, I expect that I do them. So when I come back again 6 months or next year, people can say, well, you said that last year, what have you actually done around it? And that's what I think there's real accountability there. I think the other thing where there's accountability is when you start getting to know the community and start being involved in it, people will stop you as well when you're out and about. So I live locally, and I've had people say to me, oh, I know what you do now, what are you doing about it? And start asking me, and I think there's some kind of public accountability there as well. So there's some of those things that I think that is how I should be held accountable for it. So, and the people who work in our services as well, I've got to make sure that they are doing the things that we said. So it's not just me personally, but others that are working with us.
Okay, well, when you say things are being done, or people make a suggestion, what kind of time frame is it that you put it into effect, what's been said? Where do people find out, okay, they are doing it?
Yeah. Well, it obviously depends on what it is we've said we're going to do and the timescale and things around some of that. And there are some things that are a lot easier to do than others. So it does depend on that. I think some of the ways of which I will find out about it is, it's some things like this community involvement, the website that they have. I know I've got to get better in our organisation about communication and how we put some of these things out. But it's how we reach it out through the pastors, how things are wider in the community. And there's all sorts of social media things as well that we use and that we get that out. So it's communication all the time around these things, and not just in a letter from me is not going to work because nobody's going to see that. So it's all these different mediums, and I think that's why I speak on these things, because I think you get reach a lot more than I do within some of the networks that we have and our communications network. So it's these things, I think. Yeah.
And from any of the guest speakers that was here today, or any of the workshop feedback or questions, is there any key parts that stood out to you about what was said, and what were your takeaway?
Okay, the big thing for me was about school, I think, and in terms of the earlier start and the message that we're getting over in schools and how we can break down some of the fear and the stigma around some of the things around mental health and get people talking about it, that it's okay to talk about mental health. It shouldn't be a taboo subject. And I think so the things that I was hearing about how do we need to get these things into schools and getting messages there I think that was the most powerful message I heard today.